Hello everybody and welcome to this episode of AM in the PM Update. I'm your host Anthony Michael and I got some slightly depressing news for you guys. This probably was like the worst week in the history of weeks to have an update video on, especially in these topics. Like apparently the universe just knows that this is the last week of school and nobody cares about anything else but finishing school, because that seems to be the thing here. And like every chart possible, nothing changed, nothing new happened at all. There are no big events this week. We have even more depressing news coming out of the Netflix section. We will definitely be talking about that in a second. So just a heads up, this week kind of sucks. So stick around and find out why. Let's go ahead and start things off with your music update. As I mentioned before, this week's music chart is so boring. It's exactly the same. I guess that's technically a good thing for these artists, but when it comes to updates and stuff like that, it's horrible. It's not exciting at all. But we're going to go ahead and go through the list just in case you don't know what it is anyway. At number 5 this week is Stay by Rihanna. Of course, the song has kept its place from last week and has now been on the charts for 15 weeks. Also keeping its place at number 4 is When I Was Your Man by Bruno Mars. This song has been on the charts for 22 weeks. At number 3 is Justin Timberlake's Mirrors. This song has been on the charts now for 14 weeks. At number 2 is Just Give Me a Reason by Pink. This song as well has been on the charts now for 14 weeks. And at number 1, of course, still, is Can't Hold Us by Macklemore. This song has now been on the charts for 15 weeks. So yeah, this week in music kind of was boring only because it's the same, but there is a plus to this. At least you don't have to learn lyrics to new songs this week, so when you're going on that road trip this week with your friends and the latest songs come on the radio, you already know the words because you figured out what they were last week. So there's a plus, I guess. So there's good coming out of this. So let's look at the glass half full this week, okay? Moving on to something slightly more exciting and update news, let's go ahead and move on to your app update. So something happened to the App Store this week. Let's go ahead and take a look at your top paid apps in Apple's App Store this week. At number 5 is Farm Frenzy 3 American Pie HD. At number 4 is The Amazing Spider-Man. Moving down one place from last week is Survival Craft at 3rd place this week. Losing its place at number 1 is Minecraft Pocket Edition, now in 2nd place. Now taking the number 1 spot this week is Doc McStuffin's Time for Your Checkup, available in the App Store for $3.99. Moving on over to apps you're most likely going to download, let's go ahead and check out the top free apps this week. At number 5 is Fast and the Furious 6, the game. If you recall, that game was number 1 last week and is now number 5. I guess people saw the movie and was just as disappointed in the game as they were the movie. So, at number 4 is Angry Birds Space HD. Just a quick FYI, Angry Birds Space HD is free this week. You usually have to pay for it in the App Store, but it is free this week. It's Apple's App of the Week, so it is completely free this week. So get it while time lasts. It's only going to be free this week, so get it as soon as possible because you don't know when the new App of the Week is going to come in, so you need to get it as soon as possible if you are interested in Angry Birds games, which I'm pretty sure you are because it's probably the most popular franchise going on right now, so definitely get it while it's free. Hurry up while you're watching this. In the links below, I'll go ahead and leave you the link straight to the App Store so you can get it right on your iPad or on your iPhone or on your whatever you got. So go ahead and get it right now. The link is in the description box below. Get it, get it, get it! And number 3 this week, of course, is Candy Crush Saga. That super addicting, like Bejeweled styled game that everybody loves. My mom is so addicted to this game, by the way. It's really embarrassing. I really hope you don't get addicted. But it's number 3, so obviously there's something cool happening in this game. So check it out, I guess, if you want to be addicted. At number 2 this week is the Pit Game HD. And at number 1 is Tetris Blitz. It's basically just Tetris, but now you got a timer and you got a few more little upgrade stuff you got going on. It's really cool, definitely check it out. And that, again, is number 1 in Apple's top free apps this week. My app suggestion of the week this week is Flipboard. This app is really cool. It's a big media hub. It's my favorite place to find out new things. Imagine it being like a never-ending newspaper. It's really easy to customize if you only like to learn about music news or movie news or other types of news, whatever it is. It's endless, your possibilities of things that you can put into your Flipboard, but you can completely customize it to your needs, to whatever media or news that you want to learn about. You can put it all in one place, and it's a very easy, a very beautiful app for you definitely to check out. If you sync your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram, your YouTube, all of those updates will go straight into your Flipboard account. So now on top of getting your news updates, you can also get your YouTube updates, your Facebook updates, your Twitter updates, your Instagram updates, all in one place. It's really great. The UI is beautiful. It looks great. Definitely check it out. It's definitely an app that you should already have on your iPhone, iPad, iPod, whatever you got. If you don't already have it, I highly recommend it. It's free in the App Store, so definitely go check it out. A link to Flipboard will be in the description box below for you to go straight to the App Store and get it for yourself. Definitely check it out. Alright, now comes to the really bad Netflix news, guys. I really don't know how to explain it, being that I'm not like a really big hacker guy. I'm not too keen on like hacking and stuff like that, but basically I was able to find out what was new to Netflix and leaving Netflix, because there are a bunch of websites that post those sort of things, but those websites get their information straight from Netflix. What they do is they hack into Netflix and they like look into like a catalog of what's gonna come into Netflix, so like they are like hack into it and find out what's coming, and they post it on their website, and from that website I was able to find it. But unfortunately last week Netflix updated its servers and things like that, its API. I don't know what that means, but basically it's no longer hackable to find out what's coming in next. Like apparently these websites looked at a OData catalog, and that OData catalog is no longer accessible, meaning you can't hack in to find out what's coming up next. It killed all the companies that, released that information about Netflix. It really isn't a big deal to find out what's coming to Netflix, but apparently Netflix didn't like people knowing what was coming. So that killed basically all of those websites and all those companies, but it also kills this section of our update. So there's kind of a void for us to fill this week. Hopefully though, the Netflix section will come back. Hopefully Netflix does decide to, grow a brain and get the OData catalog up and going again. At this point, we really don't know if that'll ever happen, but apparently a lot of these websites and a lot of these companies are complaining straight to Netflix. They're going straight to the source, and they're like, hey Netflix, what's the big deal? Why can't we just figure out what's coming up next? Make it easier for us, make it possible at least for us to find out what's going on. A lot of people are sending emails and calling people and stuff like that. A lot of these websites are being very proactive in this. So hopefully, these updates will be able to come back. But as of right now, it doesn't look very likely. So we definitely are going to have to fill the void with something. What that something is, I don't know. Books, maybe. Video games that are new. DVDs, I guess, kind of. Because Netflix or movies and TV shows, maybe you want a DVD. I don't know. But what you can do to fill this void, at least, you can leave me a comment on YouTube. You can Facebook me. You can tweet me. You can Instagram a picture with hashtag Anthony Michael, so I can get straight to it. You can Google Plus me. I forgot I have that too. I have a Tumblr. You can Tumblr me about it and let me know what you think should fill this void. There are hundreds of things. Believe me, there's plenty of stuff that you can fill this void with. I really don't know at this point, but let me know what you want. If not, I'm gonna fill it with something. Who knows what that something is, but it'll definitely be filled until Netflix, decides to change its mind. If Netflix ever decides to change its mind. But yeah, so I guess we're gonna move on to new in theaters because there's nothing to talk about in Netflix, unfortunately. So yeah, so I'm telling you, this week sucks. This week sucks! There are quite a few movies coming to theaters this week, but most of them are actually limited releases, meaning they're only gonna come to Los Angeles or New York or other bigger cities. So I personally don't know what those movies are because I don't live in a big city area. But movies coming to theaters around the nation this week are Now You See Me and After Earth. I'm not really excited to see either one of these movies. They both don't look extremely interesting. If I'm going to see one of them, it's definitely going to be Now You See Me. It has a really interesting plot, I guess. I've never really heard of a heist of magicians. I don't know, it seems interesting. I've seen the trailer several times now on TV, so I will most likely be checking out that one this week. But as far as After Earth, I saw Oblivion. It was awesome. Don't ruin it. I'm not going to ruin it. I thought Oblivion was great. Apparently it's the same exact plot, except for this one has Will Smith. But just in case you didn't know, After Earth was also directed by the same guy who directed Avatar: The Last Airbender. If in case you didn't know what that movie was, that was like the worst movie in the history of movies ever. It was so bad. It ruined Avatar for me and for a lot of people. So this director is horrible. So chances are, so is this movie. I won't be seeing that one until it comes to Netflix. If it ever comes to Netflix, I don't know. We shall see. But if you like Will Smith and whatever his son's name is, definitely go check it out then. Otherwise, I'm telling you to stay away. But it's your choice. So let's go ahead and move on from the theater to big events happening this week. Again, as I mentioned before, somebody must have told the universe that, hey, this is the last week of school, so don't do anything yet because everything should start happening next week, because literally there are no events this week. There was one, and it happened on Monday, I believe, or maybe it was Tuesday. Wall Street Journal had or hosted their All Things Digital event. It was their 11th, I believe, and they talked to big technology companies, CEOs specifically, like Tim Cook from Apple and other big guys in the tech universe right now. And they just basically just asking a bunch of questions about what's coming and what to expect, and just like interrogate them almost and find out a bit more. That already happened, so if you want to learn a bit more, I'll go ahead and leave you a link to more information about what happened there at D11. So, as I mentioned, this week was horrible in update. There was nothing that happened this week. So you could have sat under a rock and literally you could not have been affected at all by anything because nothing happened this week. So, yeah. Cool, okay, I guess I will talk to you later. Luckily though, there are quite a few things happening in news this week, so definitely stay tuned, subscribe, that way you get all the news that happened this week. There are quite a few big things that happened this week, definitely, especially coming out of that D11 event. So we're definitely discussing that at the end of the week. Subscribe to keep updated. I'm Anthony Michael, and you are welcome.